Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Big Akar Ahmed and welcome to today's video. Today I want to be going ahead and talking about the Caliphs and Sunni Islam. The reason I want to be going ahead and doing this is I've gotten different answers over the years. After reading Hadith and going through it, I end up seeing 3 Caliphs, I end up seeing 4 Caliphs, I end up seeing 5 Caliphs, I end up seeing 7 Caliphs. Many debate if Muawiyah is a caliph or if Yazid is a caliph. Many debate if Imam Ali alayhi salam was even a caliph. Many debate about the hadith, about the 12 caliphs that come after the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, that keep the religion strong. This is in the Sunni books. And who are these 12, right? I've never really had an answer or been giving a proper answer throughout the years of going ahead and asking my Sunni brothers and sisters. Yes, I understand there's a basis claim that the 4 rightfully guided caliphs are Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. But this is not going to necessarily just prove what the hadiths say or prove what historical matters say or prove what different sects of the Sunni world today actually go ahead and say. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the sourcing and question some of the things that are here to figure out where's Imam Ali alayhi salam, where are some of these other caliphs that are mentioned, and who are these 12, right? So going ahead and starting with Sunnah ibn Dawood, we have a verse that says, we used to say in the times of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, we would not compare anyone with Abu Bakr. Umar came next, then Uthman. We then would leave the rest of the companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, without treating any as superior to the other. Okay, so these are the top 3 companions in ranking, right? So Abu Bakr is the best, Umar is the second best, Uthman is the 3rd best, according to this hadith, and the rest of the companions are just companions, you know? Khalas. When the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was alive, we used to say the most excellent member of the community of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, after himself was Abu Bakr, then Umar, then Uthman. Okay, so once again, same exact thing. Continuing to the next page here, or the next section of the hadith. I said to my father, oh, this is very important here, because the individual who is speaking is the son of Imam Ali, right? He's the son of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And what does he say? I said to my father, which of the people after the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, is the best? So this is Imam Ali's son speaking to Imam Ali, okay? Who are the best of the companions, right? After the Prophet. He replied, Abu Bakr. And then I asked, who comes next? And he said, Umar. Then I was afraid to ask him who came next. He might mention Uthman. So I said, you come next, O my father? He said, I am just only a man amongst the Muslims. Subhanallah. Imam Ali alayhi salam, one of the bravest men in all of human history, who took the door of Khaybar off, who never turned down a battle, the first individual to go ahead and come to the religion of Islam, an individual who never worshipped pagan statues or anything in a pagan society. He's just a normal man amongst the Muslims. The lion of Islam is just a normal man amongst the Muslims. You know how honorable, how humble he is in this hadith. I heard Shia say, if anyone thinks that Ali, Allah be pleased with him, was more deserving for the caliph than both of them, he imputed error to Abu Bakr, Umar, and the immigrants and the helpers. Allah will be pleased with them all. I think that with this belief, none of his actions will rise to heaven. So what does Sufyan say? He's saying that if anyone decides to go ahead at that time, because people were debating who the caliph should be it be Abu Bakr? So it wasn't really clear that Abu Bakr should have been the Khalifa at the time. Obviously, there was debates and bickering, and people had disagreements on what was happening amongst the companions and not amongst the companions, right? He's saying that if anyone says that Ali alayhi salam is more deserving than Abu Bakr or Umar, he believes that none of their actions will rise to heaven, meaning their du'as, none of their actions will be counted with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like they're just null. You know what I mean? Like they're just thrown away. Subhanallah. The caliphs are five. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and Umar bin Abdul Aziz. Subhanallah. Is Umar bin Abdul Aziz the fifth caliph? Is he the fifth caliph? Or is it Muawiyah? Or is it someone else? So when I start reading some of these hadiths, I start getting a little bit confused here, right? Moving on. Sahih al-Bukhari 7262. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, entered the garden and told me to guard his gate. And then a man came and asked permission to enter. The Prophet said, permit him, and gave him the good news that he will enter paradise. Behold, it was Abu Bakr. Then Umar came, and the Prophet said, admit him, and give him the good news that he will enter paradise. Then Uthman came, and the Prophet said, admit him and give him good news that he will enter paradise. So what's very interesting is Imam Ali is not here, alayhi salam, never is. And they're all given paradise in the same order as they were caliphs, right? So Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, it's always this order, right? This is like some divine order of ranking amongst the companions. And Ali, alayhi salam, the firstborn Muslim, lion of Islam, one of the purest human beings around the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, is nowhere to be found here. But it's interesting that even subliminally within the hadith, it puts them, they even walk through the gate in the order that their caliphship is in. Sahih al-Bukhari 3655. We used to compare the people as to who was better during the lifetime of of Allah's Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him. We used to regard Abu Bakr as the best, then Umar, then Uthman. Again, the same ranking. Sahih al-Bukhari 3717. So, Uthman was afflicted with severe nosebleed in the year when such illness was prevalent, and that prevented him from performing his Hajj, and because of that, he made his will. A man from Quraysh came to him and said, appoint your successor. Uthman said, did the people name him the successor? The man said, yes. Uthman said, who is that? The man remained silent. Another man came. Uthman said, I think it was Al-Hurayth. He said also, appoint your successor. Uthman asked, did the people name him? The man said, yes. Uthman said, who is that? The man remained silent. Uthman said, perhaps they have mentioned Az-Zubair. Right? So the fifth caliph, correct? That was labeled earlier, and Dawood. But what's interesting here is, I thought Imam Ali, alayhi salam, was the fourth caliph. I thought this was clear. I thought he was the rightfully guided caliph. If he's the rightfully guided caliph, in this order, and there's some magical divine order from God, right? Where they all enter heaven in this order, and they all walk into the Prophet's house in this order, and they all, ride their camels in this order. Why in the world is right here, it's saying clearly, after Uthman is Al-Zubair, right? The man said, yes. Uthman said, by him in whose hands my life is in, he is the best of them that I know, and the dearest of them to Allah's Messenger. Peace and blessings be upon him. Continue. While I was with Uthman, a man came to him and said, appoint your successor. Uthman said, has such a successor been named? He said, yes, Az-Zubair. Uthman said, thrice by Allah, indeed you know that he is the best of you. Sahih al-Bukhari 3718. Why is right here, in specific, Uthman, the third caliph, who should know better, who should know who the fourth caliph is, who should know who's the rightfully guided caliph, why is he appointing Az-Zubair in his will? Why is he appointing this? Or why does he believe that he is the best among the companions? Where is Imam Ali alayhi salam? Where is Ali amongst all of this? Is he like the 12th, the 15th, the 19th? Where is he? Yes, today in modern day Sunni theology, when I talk to a Sunni, they say my four rightfully guided caliphs, right? Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. But in the hadith, where is Ali? Even in Uthman's will, the third caliph who actually passes the baton. Where is Ali alayhi salam? Where is he? It's just baffling to me reading some of this, and it starts to confuse me, right? Who are your guys' caliphs? Who are rightfully guided? Who did the Prophet leave us? And in a second, we're going to get to there being 12. So if there's 12 and we can't even figure out the first 4 or 5, we're going to run into a little bit of a problem, right? Moving on. Back to Habib Dawood, 46:46. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, the caliphate of the prophecy will last 30 years. Then Allah will give the kingdom of his kingdom to anyone he wills. Sa'id told Safina, said to him, calculate Abu Bakr's caliphate as 2 years, Umar's as 10, Uthman's as 12, and Ali's as so-and-so. Of course, so-and-so, he doesn't get a number, nothing. Sa'id said, I said to Safina, they conceived that Ali was not a caliph. He replied, the buttocks of Marwan told a lie. Oops, just happened. So, right here, people are actually saying that Imam Ali alayhi salam was not a caliph, right? And he replied that Marwan told a lie, right? So these people are telling a lie. Ali is obviously a caliph, and he is the caliph after Uthman, right? But within all of these other hadiths that I just read in Bukhari and Dawood and Muslim, Ali's not mentioned to be a caliph. He's actually rejected to be a caliph. He's actually told that if he's even put in the rankings at Abu Bakr or Umar's level, even equal or before them, that person's prayers won't even reach the heavens, that person's good deeds won't even be counted by God. Right? Interesting. Now, the final thing I want to go ahead and talk about here, right, is going to be Sahih Muslim 1812D and forward, okay? And this is where I get extremely confused, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I heard the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, peace and blessings be upon him, say, Islam will continue to be triumphant until there has been 12 caliphs. Then the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said something which I could not understand. I asked my father, what did he say? He has said that all of them, 12 caliphs, will be from the Quraysh. Okay, so we're going to have 12 caliphs. They're going to be from the Quraysh, right? Islam will continue to be triumphant until there have been 12 caliphs. Where are they? This order will continue to be dominant until we have 12 caliphs, the narrator says. Then he said something which I could not understand. I said to my father, what did he say? My father told me that all of the caliphs will be from the Quraysh. Continuing. I went to my father, to the Messenger of Allah, may peace and blessings be upon him, and he said that this religion will continue to remain powerful and dominant until there have been 12 caliphs. Okay, our religion is going to remain powerful and dominant until we have 12 caliphs, right? 12 rightfully guided leaders. Who are they? Sunni Islam. Yes, the Shia theology believes in 12 rightfully guided leaders after the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, who keep the religion strong and powerful and dominant. Ending with the 12th Imam, which is Imam Mahdi, right? And he will rise at the end of times, okay? But where in Sunni theology do they believe in a 12 power structure that keeps the religion powerful and in line? Yes, their hadith tells us this. Yes, the Prophet's sunnah tells us this. But as a Sunni who follows the Prophet's sunnah, can you tell me who these 12 are? I wrote a letter to Jabir B. Samir and sent it to him through my servant Nafi, asking to inform something that I heard from the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him. He wrote to me and replied, I heard the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, say on a Friday evening, the day in which Al-Islami was stoned to death for committing adultery, the Islamic religion will continue until the hour has been established, or you have been ruled over by 12 caliphs, all among them being from the Quraysh. Also heard him say a small force of the Muslims will capture the White Palace, the palace of the Persian Empire, and his descendants. I also heard him saying, before the day of judgment there will appear a number of impostors. There are to guard against them. I also heard, when God grants wealth to any one of you, you should first spend it on himself and his family and then give to charity to the poor. I heard him also say, I will be a forerunner at the cistern, expecting your arrival. So this is a very, very, very clear prophecy. This is a prophecy, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. This is not just, fun, having fun. The Prophet's telling us about 12 rightfully guided caliphs that keep the religion strong until the day of judgment. He is telling us this for a reason, so that we remain strong with them. He warns us there will be imposters, so we can reject them. He warns us of these things. So, who are the 12 rightfully guided caliphs? Let's take the Sunni view and say, okay, let's take the first 4. Even though I still don't see Imam Ali alayhi salam as one of the 4 here in the hadith, it's confusing. I don't know. Like, as a Sunni, if I was to read this, if I was to study the Sunni hadith books, I'd be confused, not with Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman. I'd take those 3, 100%. Clear as day, I'd take those 3, according to the script, according to the text here. But I would be very confused if I was taking Ali alayhi salam as a caliph. I would be getting thrown around left and right, up and down here, right? And then the prophecy that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, gives us of these 12 rightfully guided leaders that keep the religion strong, that keep us from going astray. These 12 rightfully guided leaders, right? Who are they? Past the first 3. Okay, let's take Ali alayhi salam as the 4th. Where's the other 2/3? Where's the other 8? Who are they? Is the next one Muawiyah? Or is it Haz Zubair? Is the 6th one Yazid? And then after that, who do we got? Right? Until 12, are all these people pious? Are all these people good? Are all these people okay? And how can, for instance, I don't want to get too much into this, but how can Muawiyah be a rightfully guided caliph if he literally went to war against the rightfully guided caliph of his time? Right? A lot of the times, Sunni Muslims ask me, why did Imam Ali alayhi salam not fight Abu Bakr, not fight Umar, not fight Uthman? You want someone who is pious and righteous, right? Who follows the religion of Islam to a T, to fight the rightfully guided caliphs of his time and cause division and cause sectarianism? No, but Muawiyah did. So is he really considered a rightfully guided caliph? Is this how you keep Islam strong? By fighting Imam Ali alayhi salam, by leading to 20,000 deaths of Muslims? It's just, sometimes when I read this stuff, it just doesn't make logical sense. And then when I get responses, it still doesn't make logical sense. So what I did was I asked ChatGPT. I know this isn't the most amazing place to go ahead and ask something, but whenever I ask my Sunni Muslim brothers and sisters, I get very, very emotional responses. I get very, very excusable responses. I just want an objective answer with quotes and sourcing. I want to sit down at the table and I want you to go ahead and show me your 12. Since you follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, and this is a prophecy from the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, that's so important that it keeps the religion strong until the day of judgment. Where are your 12 that are keeping this religion strong until the day of judgment? You claim to be upon the truth. You claim to be Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, right? Who are your 12 that are keeping us so strong today? Who are preserving your truth? That's what I want to know. So I'll give over to my webcam folder and we'll go ahead and see this, right? I said one more thing. The Sunni Hadith talks about 12 caliphs after the Prophet. Who are they? By name. Yes, the famous Sunni Hadith. The religion will continue to be strong and upheld until there have been 12 caliphs, all of them from Quraysh. Sahih Muslim, book 33, Hadith 118. The Hadith is a major theological grenade because the Sunni world has never been able to clearly identify the 12 rulers. So subhanAllah, even ChatGPT knows this is a grenade. It's an explosion. Because this is important. It's very important. And any Sunni Muslim that's going to come to my comment section and say, no, it's not important. Who cares about these 12 people? We're right. Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. We got the truth. We're rightfully guided. But we don't need the rightfully guided 12 rulers that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, told us about. So let's go ahead and see her breakdown. So who are these 12 caliphs? Let's break it down. The problem Sunni scholars themselves are all over the place trying to identify these 12. Some say it is the first 4 caliphs, plus Muawiyah, plus Yazid. Look at even the face she made for Yazid. Even she doesn't like Yazid. And then who knows? Others tried to force Umayyad and Abbasid names, but none of those dynasties had only 12 just rulers, right? Which you also can't do because they're supposed to come from the Quraysh, right? Where some of those include like Yazid, who are responsible for Karbala, slaughtering Imam Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet. How can he be divinely praised caliph? Yeah, how can he be a divinely praised caliph? And how, even if he didn't murder the grandson of the Prophet, even if you guys want to blame it on somebody else, the guy was a drunkard. The guy attacked the Kaaba, the house of God. The guy broke the black stone that is on our Kaaba, the stone from heaven. So, even disregarding Karbala, the guy is a maniac. That's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Subhanallah, ChatGPT using basic knowledge. Now look at the Shia view. And by the way, I didn't persuade her in any way or told her to do this. Everything that I talked to her about here is objective and only objective. I didn't tell her to take a side. I didn't tell her anything. I asked her a question about the 12 rightfully guided leaders. She's telling me the Shia view. She's telling me the Sunni view. She's telling me the Sunni view doesn't have an answer. They're all over the place. They choose different caliphs. Some say Yazid. Some say Muawiyah. Some say Az-Zubair. Some say, Ibn Walid. Some say, like, it's all over the place, right? Now look at the Shia view. 12-verse Shiaism has a clean, consistent list. Okay, it does have a clean, consistent list. Here's 12 rightfully guided rulers. All 12 of these names in Sunni and Shia literature are very pious men, are very honorable men, are very knowledgeable men, are men who died upon purity of Islam. We believe in these 12. We honor these 12. And we hold tight to these 12. A prophecy as important as this, the religion will continue to be strong and upheld until there have been 12 caliphs, all of them from Quraysh, will continue to be strong and upheld. Where are they? Right? So, the list is Quraysh, just, spiritually elevated, never ruled tyrannically, loved and preserved the Sunnah. And the 12th Imam al-Mahdi fits many Sunni and Shia narrations about the guided leader who will return to fill the earth with justice. Interesting. Why this matters. The hadith in Sahih Muslim says, Islam will remain standing and glorious until these 12 caliphs. This cannot refer to the chaos of Yazid civil wars, Abbasid tyranny, Umayyad corruption, Ottoman sultans, but it perfectly fits the Shia model of the 12 imams, each one luminous, divinely guided leader, spiritually inherited from the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, passing the torch of true Islam. She's giving the Shia perspective, by the way. She's not making this a objective claim. She's just saying that this prophecy from the Sunnah hadith here of these 12 rightfully guided leaders matches a lot better with the Shia narrative and what they have, right? She's not confirming it's true. She's saying that the Shia seem to have a list, and this list of people match the exact prophecy, where the Sunni people don't have a list, and they claim to be following the Sunnah, but they cannot explain the Sunnah, right? Conclusion. The hadith of 12 caliphs is a puzzle piece. It fits nowhere in Sunni history, but clicks perfectly in place with 12er Shiaism. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Would you like to break down the 12 imams and their contributions next? Every one of them is a gem. No thanks. Appreciate it though, ChatGPT. So, I just wanted to go ahead and break down within the books who are the rightfully guided caliphs. There seems to be a lot of confusion within the Sunni literature. Who are these 12 rightfully guided leaders that keep Islam strong and keep the whole Ummah in line? And who are these 12 by name to the Sunni scholars or the Sunni theology? Apparently, we don't have an answer. They debate upon this, and then they just toss it away. It's like not important. A prophecy from our Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, the Sunnah of the Prophet, a prophecy so strong as 12 rightfully guided leaders after him, but we don't know past 3. We don't know past Uthman. We don't know past Ali. Right? We don't know past them. This is very, very, very inconsistent. This is very, very, very confusing to me. And I'm honestly so sick of being called a kafir, of being called upon some dishonesty or being upon not the truth. And then the people who are upon the truth can never answer these questions. The people who are upon the truth will always run in circles and make these excuses. But I just want a clear answer. Can someone please come sit down with me and give me a clear answer? I am ready to convert to Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah tomorrow. I want to be upon the truth. But I cannot be upon the truth if you guys cannot explain your own hadiths, if you guys cannot explain clear prophecies. It's actually irritating to me that I live in persecution every single day. I'm scared to go ahead and go, hi, I'm Shia Muslim and this is what I believe, because I'm just called kafir and thrown away and I'm persecuted and people are chopping our heads off on a daily basis in the Middle East. This is actually ridiculous. All I want is clear answers. If you are Ahlul Sunnah wa Jama'ah, if you follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, if you are upon the truth, if you follow the Quran, everything is perfect in your world, then come give me these answers. You should have these answers. Not me, the Shia who's astray and a deviant and worships demigods, right? I shouldn't have this answer. But I do have an answer for this. I have our answer for this. But where is your answer for this? This is all I'm asking. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please be kind and respectful in the comment section below. Please go ahead and explain what I've gone through today. And until next time, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the straight path. May He protect our Palestinian brothers and sisters in Gaza. May He protect the whole entire Middle East on what is going on to this day. And may He hasten the coming of the Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.